Hey everybody. We're back. So I'm looking at some of this stuff, and I thought I had other stuff in here. Oh yeah. So we have this mouse. Where is this? Not this door. Got a little mouse. Maybe move that more to the front. Mouse. Toy mouse. So we got. We might want this. Actually, I might want to redo this. Move that to the front. I was thinking, whoops. Let's see here. Should almost be behind all this stuff. Or is this piece? Behind. There we go. I might change that. I was thinking of making it so it looks like it's open. Move this guy. There's our slipper. Where's our other slipper? Move this guy over a little bit. Some of this stuff might be too big. I might have to shrink it down. So, and I don't know about my cat tree. This thing too. This should be a little smaller. Maybe down. It's supposed to look like a mess. So. Where's that slipper again? Slipper might be a little too big. Mismatched slippers. Okay. So let's bring this up. Come on. Actually, okay, let's try this. Let's do a new. Merge these guys. We'll merge these guys. I'm not too worried about. Merge this. Turn it off. Okay, so pen, green. That's a big brush. All right. Oops. Actually, we'll do it like this because it's a sad flower, and the dog messed it up. There we go. I'm not sure what kind of flower it is, but it's pretty much dead. Okay, so new layer, and have like petals. We might do a few of those. Okay. Excuse me. Hey, Lily Plays. Thank you. Oh, Taco John. No. Listen to our boy.
As you all can see, I cut my hair off. It was just time. It was holding a lot of tension, stress. It's getting tattered, and just the gray and the exhaustion of. I'd cut it since the pandemic started, and then the whole thing with my wife, and economics and business and stuff. It's been a lot of stress. So letting that hair go, a little bit of relief, both temperature-wise, stress weight-wise. It just takes years off me as well. So that's out of the way now. I've had a few people comment about my take on the local mentality, and it's not like I just rushed to that conclusion. It's not like I'm just projecting. It comes back to me what people are saying. I mean, the was an old guy walking around town telling people he'll never step foot in here because of all the N-word music that I play. So it wasn't like I just guessed that was part of the reason here. The demographic is what it is. The American Divide is what it is. I didn't create that. I didn't manufacture that. I'm just kind of stuck living in the residual effects of it. Alright, so, yeah, it wasn't like I just came to that conclusion willy-nilly. It was 18 months of seeing things as they played out. But, so anyway, people with their comments on, I just don't think it's valid. But it is what it is. Today I want to talk to you about Mary Wells, who I have most of her work back on the Motown label, and she ends up on a few other labels in the 70s and then kind of disappears sadly. Cool cover. Not very typical for the Motown label, to be honest. Early Motown, I think it's her second release on Motown. But when I listened to it, and this was the only one I didn't have. I have all the other ones for a long time, years and years. And I finally found one of these when I looked the other day on Discogs. I found it for a decent price. It's in nice condition. But why I'm bringing it up, why I'm listening to it, is it's astounding how much it made me think of Amy Winehouse, Adele, Duffy, and a slew of others, especially British pop / R&B singers. And just how far but not far the music has come in some ways. And there's a timelessness to what this music represents. Sharon Jones and the Daptones, that whole Daptone label, the analog sound, the real instrumentation. When you listen to Adele, and when you listen to Amy Winehouse, and you listen to a lot of the other stuff that's kind of throwback, it's amazing how much you hear Motown and the old black soul music of America. And it's just so omnipresent. And having not played any Motown in a while, when I listened to that record, I was just like, man, it's crazy how verbatim they're echoing that stuff. From the bass lines, and James Jamerson's innovations, and I talked recently about how he impacted Paul McCartney, and how Paul McCartney listening to Jamerson really changed the direction of his bass lines, which changed the direction of the Beatles' melodies. Rubber Soul and Revolver, it was a whole new world, Beatles sounding, from Paul just playing the notes to suddenly playing a whole different approach on the bass. It's a pretty impactful thing, black soul music in America. And of course, black soul music comes from the jump blues, which comes from jazz and the blues. So it's all one lineage, one tree trunk of that black American experience, overcoming the tyranny and struggle of life in poverty and living in America in that dual system of injustice. It's lost, I think, on a lot of Americans just how difficult times were for black Americans. I think a lot of us kind of live in a vacuum, don't really see how charged that time was and how difficult it was. But I'm listening to right now to Kenny Burrell on Concord. And like I said in the last episode, I'm working a lot on my music lately, so I haven't had time to listen to a ton of records in the cafe. But this Burrell record, like I said, on Concord, if I remember, probably an 80s pressing, an 80s release, I should say, with Larry Gales and Carl Burnett. Doesn't have the year. I'm not sure. 79. This is good stuff on Lights Are Low. It's an old radio copy from WYBC. Not sure where that's from. Comes to that radio station. But you got some Fats Waller, some Ellington. It's just good stuff. And Burrell's such a beautiful player. It's the type of jazz that anybody can put on and never have to squint or be uncomfortable with anything too edgy or angular. And this is a far better representation of what jazz is than, say, something like this, which Joe Henderson and Urge is a fantastic record. But this is the edges of the jazz kingdom, not the center. And I mean, this is not that far out, but it definitely is far more out than this. And that guy came in and requested it, and I was happy to play it for him. But again, it's actually a fairly, I don't say difficult, but it's not easy listening by any stretch. It's really good stuff. And of course, the impact and influence of John Coltrane is very present in Joe Henderson's playing. You have McCoy Tyner on the piano, Bobby Cranshaw on the bass, and Elvin Jones on the drums. And so you have a bit of a Coltrane rhythm section there as well with Tyner and Jones. This is blue note beyond hard bop into that post hard bop. Not quite avant-garde, but it's definitely, and it's not free jazz, but it definitely has more angles, hints of dissonance, intensity, rawness. And for a lot of us as jazz listeners, we love that stuff. But it's less appealing to those who are in the room and don't know what to anticipate, or maybe aren't in the mood for that sonic landscape. And that's, I think, what a lot of us forget at the time of jazz. When we play jazz for other people, we need to consider where they're at emotionally and in their mindset, and prepare people for the outer edges with some of the milky, creamy stuff on the inside. But it's a great record, don't get me wrong. I love Henderson. He makes some records in the 80s on Verve Forecast, if I remember. That were kind of bossa nova-ish and real beautiful playing. Henderson can play a ballad with the best of them. But again, this was a younger Joe Henderson, a bit more challenged, a bit more fury. Civil rights this is probably 65 or 6. So it was a difficult time in America still. Vietnam was on the horizon. There was so much tension. The Watts riots in Detroit, everything was just in flames. And so it's quite a natural thing for that aggression, that tenacity, and that tension to reveal itself throughout the layers of what the black jazz canon was doing. And it's definitely on that peripheral edge. It's got a lot of Coltrane sonic intensity and dimension playing throughout it. It's a great piece, classic late blue note, a year or so before the sale to Liberty, which of course became United Artists quite quickly after that. Great stuff, a great piece, and an album worth seeking out. I have a couple different copies of that record. This I played last week. Detour to the Moon by Marianne McCall, who's a great singer. I enjoy her stuff a lot. It's on the Jubilee label, Herb Abramson's label, who was a former partner at Atlantic with the Erdogan brothers, and he left and went to form his own label, Jubilee. Probably about 20, 10 inches and maybe 120 LPs before they kind of went their own direction off into pop and different comedy, different things. But the Jubilee 1000 series, up to about 1120, there's some really solid titles. I've talked about Jubilee numerous times. From about 1045, 1050 through 1100, there's 40, 50 great titles in there that are worth seeking out. The covers start to become very much cheesecake by the time you get to 57, 58, 59. They're very much pretty wet girl on the cover, regardless of who's playing on the record. She's doing songs here that are all kind of lunar in their landscape, if you like my alliteration right there. Detour ahead, I wished on the moon. The moon was yellow on the crazy, oh, you crazy moon. Moonlight becomes you, moon glow. You get the theme going on here. Shine on, harvest moon, blue moon, east of the sun, no moon at all, it's only a paper moon in moon country. It's atmospheric, it's melancholic, it's beautiful. It's very much a jazz ensemble playing behind her. Nat Hentoff actually does the liner notes here, which tells you that it's a fairly jazz-driven session. Looks like we have Mal Walters on that. Say Billy Bauer? Oh, Bill Russo, sorry. The print's so small, my eyes are up on the table. But yeah, it's a really good record. It's something that you can play back to back to back when you have guests and company, and they'll enjoy that and let that wash over them. So, short episode today. I just wanted to share a couple records and again talk to you about some of the feedback from the last episode. And I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to stay objective as I can. It's just the money's been stressful ever since the wife departed, and we're doing what we can to survive. And it is what it is. It's not just me having animosity towards people on the opposite side. People forget I'm a Canadian. I'm not even an American citizen. I don't vote. I don't get too worked up with American politics. I think the American left is quite right-center in a global perspective, and capitalism has run amok and really destroyed the values and virtues of this civilization and society that was once a great people. They've stripped us of our education and our intellect. The amount of Americans who can't find world places on a map today is shocking and reveals a lot about an education system that has been deteriorated by an agenda. It's not just about dollars and cents. It's about people who are less informed are more likely to be afraid, and people who are afraid are far more inclined to have hate. Fear and hate are very interwoven fabrics, and fear and hate is how you control people. Every empire in history has done it. And the fact that most Americans don't know the capital of my country, Canada, live right next door, we're huge trade partners. Their hockey club in the capital is a reference to it being the capital, the Ottawa Senators. And yet 99% of Americans don't know. I meet far more African cab drivers from Ethiopia, Somalia, Kenya that know the capital of my country. I mean, that's ethnocentrism at its finest. It's not just me projecting. But yeah, it's really crazy hearing some of those British. I mean, it's true for American singers as well. I mean, even your Britney Spears and a lot of those pop
We're
singers.
missing some color.
Black R&B through a very pop
Red?
filtered lens.
Red?
R&B is such a vernacular, such a language with the pattern and the groove and the repetition and how it makes you want to move and dance and feel sexual. It's very much a black innovation, which was a response to struggle and tyranny. Sexuality and dancing is a joy that helps one overcome the darkness of the day they're living in. I mean, it's not just this random connection. It's very much linked. Experience drives art, and it's always a reflection of the times that it's made in. Any art that you don't have the historical context to understand, you don't really understand that art. And anybody who thinks they're listening to any kind of music or any kind of art in general, without any kind of historical context, you're not really perceiving it. It's you can't remove that. I mean, I've said this before, but the Tchaikovsky 1812 Overture. If you don't know Russian history, that piece means nothing to you. If you don't understand the Crimean War, just what was happening in Russia at the time, I mean, you're not hearing the battlefield. You're not hearing what that song is expressing. So art needs to be interwoven with the history and the time that it's made in to help us understand and comprehend where it's being expressed from. So anyway, Marianne McCall, great record on Jubilee. It goes for 20, 30, 40 bucks. It's worth finding if you can seek it out. The Joe Henderson's fantastic stuff, but again, I was surprised kind of just how
Hey, Skylar 545.
and how much the guests who asked for it enjoyed it. But I could see other guests weren't really loving it. It's a bit more difficult. And then of course the Kenny Burrell record.
What do you mean by traditional drawing? Like more natural, naturalistic?
Do I look younger? I think everyone's telling me I look 10 years younger, which I mean it's a good thing.
Yeah, this is for a kid's book, so it's gonna be a little bit more
trying to look good for 51.
like playful.
Bless y'all, stay safe. We'll talk to y'all soon. I got some good content coming. I got some fun
If you're
ideas coming for episodes.
speaking of
A lot
naturalists,
of stuff. We've got the town fair in town this
oh,
week, which was hoping was going to be a bit more of a boost than it has.
let me turn this down.
Cooperate.
I'm drawing on using Procreate. So I thought about using Fresco for this project, but I'm not as familiar with Fresco. I've played with it a little bit. It's a good it's a good app, but it seems a little clunky to me. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just not familiar enough with it, but I would like to use it a little bit more. Um, but this project, I don't have time to waste in trying to teach myself. So I'm just using trusty old Procreate. It's been a while since I've done any kind of naturalistic stuff. Um, I don't want to say my time is limited, but I work a day job too. So I do this kind of on the side. And then I also do my own stuff on the side, which is has some naturalistic elements to it, but it's still kind of a mishmash of different stuff. It's kind of a collage of uh, different types of art. Um, yeah, if you go to my Instagram, which is not a very good, I hate, I have a love hate relationship with Instagram because it's not my portfolio, but sometimes I send people there and it's like who wants to scroll all the way back to whenever just to see some of my artwork. I mean, if people are interested in that, then cool, but when I'm on Instagram, I'm not trying to spend hours on it scrolling through multiple people's. um I mean, if you get paid, you're a professional, right? Um, I would say I'm a amateur professional. I've done a lot of paying gigs, um, but I've mostly done just my own stuff. So that's kind of what keeps me going with art. Because if I had to rely on the paying gigs to call myself an artist, I wouldn't be doing much. Plus, working on stuff for people can be a pain in the butt. Some people are easier to work with, others are just, it's dreadful. I mean, if you're geared towards that type of profession, then more power to you because I hate deadlines. So this is actually a book cover, and I kind of have a deadline for this, so I'm kind of trying to rush through it a little bit just to send the publisher uh, a rough draft, and then hopefully they'll like it without too many changes, and and then I can finish it. But yeah, it's I've been I've been really slacking on this and putting it off. So I don't know if that uh, well, fame. I don't know if I want to be famous. I do this YouTube thing only to document, kind of what I'm doing, so I can look back at stuff because I I've done stuff in my past where I've given away artwork and I thought it was good and I didn't document it, and I haven't seen those people in ages. I don't have their contacts, so I don't have, you know, an image or anything of the piece that I gave away or sold. So I try to do that, be better about that nowadays. You know, if you can, always document your work, even if it's garbage. You know, you never know what you might get out of it. I know there are artists that will, if they don't like their stuff, they'll destroy it. I mean, I've never understood that, but if you're trying to limit what people see of you, I can kind of get that. You know, you don't want, you know, if you're doing a portfolio, you don't want garbage. You don't want people know you're doing garbage or whatever. Or if it's a professional portfolio, you don't want to be putting your student work in there. But I mean, if it applies to whatever the job is, then maybe it's okay. But people want to see the best from you, so um, I don't always have that filter on. So I just kind of post whatever. I don't care. I'm not. I just make art. That's what I do. I just like to create. I try to do my best. But you know, sometimes when you're doing quick sketches or whatever, or you're trying to get an idea out, you just get it out so it's there, and then you can reference it later on. You can revise it. There's nothing wrong with bad drawings because that's how you learn. And the more you do, the better. I don't know. I might be preaching to the choir right now. But yeah, I kind of use YouTube to document stuff. I used to do a lot of video editing, like recording skateboarding and making edits. So I like video, and being able to post this to YouTube is nice. Even though I'm not editing any of this stuff anymore, I don't go back and edit. It just editing takes so much time, and I'm kind of a detail freak, so I can get lost in the details and spend hours and hours and hours on one little thing or a few little things and never progress. So, um, sorry, I might be giving giving too much information here, but I appreciate you guys coming through. I appreciate the comments. You know, um, I try not to be so cynical, especially with what people say. It's like I can be the same way. Try to. I'm usually the cheerleader and try to uplift people, pump people up, or whatever. And when it comes to art, I just enjoy it so much. I've been creating since I was a kid. So when I see people like showing signs of interest in it, you know, I want to encourage them. 'Cause I know there, there were people that in my life that weren't like that. So, and art shouldn't be a competition. Like people need to be more encouraging of others. I get it. We don't have to like everything that people do or anything that people do, but to try to tear somebody down for what what they're into, that's I don't know. You don't have to like it. Just, but you don't have to always be expressing that fact that you don't like it. I mean, if it's something like discrimination or something, yeah. But if it's like somebody's artwork, who cares? Why do we have to comment on every little thing? Oh, okay. What kind of stuff do you create? Are you a visual artist or video editor? What kind of stuff do you do? Yeah, I don't know if anybody heard the stuff that I was listening to earlier. That's a friend of mine. His name is Dan. Um, I met Dan in the early mid 90s through my brother. He's Canadian. He's from Toronto. Very, uh, very smart guy, musician. Uh, he does a little podcast or video vlog on YouTube called The Jazz Shepherd. Yeah, I like jazz. More of the older, earlier jazz, not smooth jazz crap. I can't really say crap, but it's not what I'm listening to. But I like the earlier jazz, the originators. Usually stuff from like the 50s, 60s, some of the 70s stuff. Even modern stuff isn't too bad, but I just like the originators. Oh, okay. Like on YouTube. What mediums are you using? Are you a digital artist or do you do traditional stuff? if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna turn
Spent a bunch of money on
this back
kebabs
on.
and hardly sold anything because it was pouring all day. So it's the fabric of life. You just gotta struggle through it. And all in all, we're still blessed. All in all, we're still fortunate. All in all, we're still silver spoon in our mouths compared to how most people in history have lived. You gotta never forget that. You have to always think of that contextualization of time and place. And having warmth and heat and warm water and those things, they're luxuries that most humans never got to appreciate and enjoy. Having food in your stomach on a daily basis without having to struggle for it, having to chase down some berries and beans. I mean, that's a much tougher life. And that's why you died at 35. So anyway, I'll count your blessings. Listen to that jazz music. Appreciate all your comments and feedback. There is love in this world. You got to struggle to find it. I try to stay in that light as often as I can. It does get hard at times. Tensions do build and mount, but we're here to overcome. And if the black community in America can go overcome their struggle, I just got to put my shoes on one day at a time and realize that you're still breathing, you're still waking up every morning, you still got good things going on. So y'all be safe. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.
Can a can of Lysol take care of my snotty sofa?
Can do.
Ads, no. Appearance in reality and Dutch art. Let's listen to that. Yeah. You spend much time in chats? The weird thing is, like, one person is able to communicate through speech and another through text. So sometimes it's hard to get across what you're saying through the text. And then there's a delay. So sometimes we miss the context. Like, especially if you're asking about something I said earlier. And vice versa. Okay. Looks like my wife has asked me to wash the dog. It's like, I have a day off. It's not really a day off because I'm working. And she wants me to do all this stuff. And it's like, I'm working on the book. happened? I thought I selected the... What happened? I was listening to something. What do we got? Baseball Hall of Fame. Man's dead at 93. Wow. Can't say. It says from town to open air graffiti museum. What is this about?
This is Nobu's Firefly Glass. And in case you've been living under a rock, here's everything you need to know about this insanely cool jewelry.
Why do I have long hair?
Okay, so this jewelry is absolutely
Because I'm
the bracelets are designed
lazy. I'm lazy about getting haircuts, but I hate long hair. That's kind of the irony of it. I was planning on cutting it shorter here soon, but just haven't made time. I thought this was Museum of Graffiti. No. I don't know if I'll get copyright struck with that. Yeah, I'd have to watch that later. That's definitely got stuff I can't play on the stream. Climate protesters arrested after Stonehenge monument with orange paint. Landscape tutorial. Wildfires in New Mexico. Pace Gallery. Did you not mean to post that? What's going on here? Okay, I guess the dog really needs a bath, so I'm gonna take a short break here. Look, I made a new screen. Yay! I should have a thing like how long I'll be gone. So yeah, it'll probably be like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So if you guys want to chill, come back later, whatever. Thanks, Skylar. 545. Do we know each other? I used to work with the Skylar, but I don't know if you're the same person. Um, these are some of the shapes. I will try fish and make some faces. What is my friend, my sculptor friend, sent me a text with some images he's working on. Oh, okay. The only problem is the bubble. All right, guys. Yeah, it'll be about 20 minutes because this dog is freaking out. So I will be back. Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm not sure, it may have been a little more than 20 minutes, but the dog got her bath. The dog got her bath. Okay. Let's keep plugging away on this stuff first. Let's see here. I'll go back to our streaming screen. Yeah, I appreciate your words, Skylar. Yep, I'm too old to be worried about the haters. Been on this planet for many, many decades. So, you know, when I was younger, yep, it affected me. But I grew up in a time where we didn't have all this instant access to people. I don't think it was until my 20s when the internet really started to take off. I mean, yeah, I don't. There may have been some form of internet when I was in high school, and this was like late 80s, early 90s. I graduated in 91. Yep, that was a long time ago. So, and I remember doing, you know, I had classes where I did computer science and stuff like that, and some computer graphics classes in high school. I forgot my point or what I was talking about. Doing the art thing, talking on stream, staying focused is like trying to have a conversation while you're driving a car. But yeah, I don't think I was using any form of internet in high school. I'm not sure if they had access to the internet at that time, but they had computer science classrooms and stuff, and so they were definitely linked together. But as far as having access to the greater community or world, that was still years away from the mainstream. Plus, you got to have money to have access to the internet unless you're going to the library all the time. So. Okay, so maybe one more. One more. Let's see. What we need to do is. Hold on a second, guys. All right. We don't. Looks like we don't have anybody in here right now. So wife's asking for breakfast. So I'm going to start that, and then get back on to keep working on this, because I really need to get this done and out. So I'm hoping today I can have something to send to the publisher, and then kind of wait, see what they say. So I'm going to end this stream because I don't know how long it'll be from cooking to eating to getting back. So I don't want it sitting here. But I will be back on later, probably in an hour and a half. So it's going to be 11 here. So probably between 12:30 and 1. So I appreciate everybody that came through, Lily Plays and Skylar, for joining me in chat. And anyways, I don't know what I was going to say. But yep, I'll be back on later this afternoon. And I hope you all have a good day wherever you're at, whatever time it is. And until next time. Bye for now.